Since we moved to our new house, my girlfriend thinks we are being watched. It all started when I bought my first ever house. I was in my late 20s, so you can imagine how happy I was. It was a beautiful house in the suburbs. The outside walls were made of exposed brick, something I personally like a lot. And there was plenty of space. 2 bedrooms, both of them with double beds. A modern kitchen, a big living room, 2 bathrooms, a basement, and an attic. My girlfriend at the time was uncertain about whether she should move in with me or not, since she'd have to quit her job. I found this house on Facebook at a surprisingly cheap price, but since it looked good, I didn't think much before sending a message to the realtor. We visited the house a few days later, and I was certain about buying it before even entering. The realtor was nice to me and showed me around, telling me all about the inside of the house. He asked me a few questions, like if I'd live alone, if I had children, if I was new in town. It seemed a little bit too personal, but I thought he was just making conversation. The house was furnished, so I asked if I'd have to pay for all the furniture, but he told me that the previous owners left it behind after a divorce, and the laziness to decide who takes what. I hope to achieve this level of richness someday. The basement was kinda small, and had a bunch of old things like empty food cans on a metal shelf and boxes filled with school books. The realtor told me about a mouse and spider infestation down here, and how none of the owners ever managed to fix it. I didn't care at all, and doubted I'd even come down here. When we got upstairs, I noticed something. There were cameras around the house. I asked the realtor about it, and he assured me the cameras never worked and were installed by one of the first residents who had 3 kids. Again, I didn't mind, especially when he pointed to some cut and bare wires hanging from the cameras. I ended up buying it and even received a first house discount, as the realtor called. I was so happy. I quickly brought some of the furniture I had at my parents' house and moved here. My girlfriend ended up joining me after some weeks, and that looked like the perfect house to start a family in. We were loving the experience of living together. She'd make us lunch, I'd make us dinner. We had a good sleep every night. When we lived with our parents, both of us had single beds, which made sleeping together kind of uncomfortable, and made our own rules. Everything was lovely, until our 3rd week living there. My girlfriend woke me up in the middle of the night, saying she heard a noise downstairs. I got up and lit our bedroom light, trying to calm her down. She was positive she heard something that sounded like a knock on a window. Me, as the supportive boyfriend, got downstairs to prove her that there was nothing to worry about. It was a tree branch. I started laughing and even took a video of the sound it made. I showed her that she didn't need to be paranoid, and that I'd always protect her, even from a tree branch. I caressed her head until we both fell asleep. I knew nothing was up, but for some reason, I felt that she kept trying to convince me that it wasn't just a tree branch. After that night, some of my things started to go missing, like a single sock, some ties, my deodorant, and even some of my underwear. I knew she was the one hiding them, so I didn't say anything, because if I looked concerned, she'd win this little game. Another night, my girlfriend woke me up, but this time she heard footsteps nearby our bedroom, and I told her it was nothing, but she insisted. I, again, got up and opened our bedroom door. Nothing was there, but after I showed her the empty corridor, we both heard footsteps coming from the first floor. She started screaming and crying, and even hid under the bed. I locked our door and quickly got downstairs, turning all the lights on and examining every part of the house. Again, I found nothing. I got upstairs and asked her what was that all about. She ended up confessing that when she was a child, 3 men broke into her house and kept her whole family hostage while they stole a bunch of things, and even threatened to kill them if they didn't shut up. One of the men held a gun to my girlfriend's head. That's where all the trauma comes from. I held her close and promised that this would never happen to us. The next day, I called a locksmith to install 2 more locks in the front and back door, an alarm system to warn us if anyone came nearby the house, and even put bars in every window to prevent anyone from breaking in. All of this made my girlfriend feel safer, and it showed. I think everything went clean after I installed all of that. Some things kept going missing, but I was probably being inattentive. Since my girlfriend stopped listening to things inside the house at night, she's a lot more happy and hopeful about starting our family in this house. I love her so much. We went to the basement to inspect if there was anything we could turn that room to, because it was actually kinda cozy. We only had to throw some things away, like the food in the boxes. She said I could do some kind of man cave since I love playing video games, but I suggested a playroom to our future kids, and she loved the idea. She kissed me on the lips and told me about how excited she was. On that day, I knew I had to make her my wife as soon as possible. I bought the engagement rings and hid the little box they came in inside of a teddy bear I bought my girlfriend on a trip to Paris. It had a zipper on its back, so I just hid the little box inside the foam and put it back to its place. I waited a few days to propose, because I wanted to make something impressive, like go on a trip with her, or take her to the restaurant we met. I think 2 weeks had passed since I bought the rings. Me and my girlfriend were chilling on the couch, almost getting to the finale of Game of Thrones, and I was sleepy as hell. I told her I was almost falling asleep and that she could watch it alone, and she agreed. I made her popcorn before going to bed, and kissed her on the lips goodnight. I woke up with a scream downstairs. My girlfriend's scream, followed by loud steps and finally a door slam. Then silence. I freaked out. I started screaming, calling her. I looked to the living room from the top of the staircase. The popcorn bowl was empty, and there was no sign of her. I called the police immediately, my fingers shaking so much I could barely dial the right number. I sat in the grass in front of my house and waited for them to come. The police came surprisingly quickly. While one of them searched the house, the other asked me about what happened. I had nothing to explain. Someone just kidnapped my girlfriend out of nowhere. That's all I knew. The other officer came near us and told me that there was no sign of a break-in, and asked me if the front door was locked when I came outside to wait for them, to which I said yes. They asked me if she sleepwalked. No. If someone had the keys. No. If someone would have any reason to hurt my girlfriend. No. If someone could be frogging. But that seemed absurd, and I would have noticed by now. After all these questions, they said they had no reason to believe she was abducted, and told me that she could have gotten angry about something I did and wanted to take a break. And if she actually didn't come back soon, I should call them again. They just left. That made my blood boil. Anyone with a brain would realize that no one fucking storms out in the middle of the night. I heard a scream. I heard loud footsteps. Someone must have picked the lock, or maybe someone had a copy of the keys. That didn't make any sense. What if someone was actually inside my house? I took the whole day to search for evidence. A single strand of hair, even. I needed something that could prove I wasn't crazy. I turned every room upside down, even the fucking bathrooms. No sign of anyone other than me and her. I thought I was going insane. Really. I climbed the stairs to the attic. I've never even gone there, so it made my heart pound even faster. It was a dark and claustrophobic room without any windows. I illuminated the room with my cell phone's flashlight, but I couldn't find anything to get concerned with. Just a couple more boxes and furniture covered in plastic. Then, something stood out. A beautiful painting of some dude. There were hearts all around his face, like it had been done by a lover. I started to sob so hard I fell on my knees. What if she did leave me? What if the policemen were right? I got out of the attic and went to the living room once again. I fell on the couch, defeated. I looked at our photographs, hanging on the walls, in photo frames at the side of the TV. I got up to reach the teddy bear from Paris and hugged it like it was her. My heart immediately froze. I couldn't feel the ring box. I opened the zipper on its back and noticed the box and the rings were gone. What the fuck? That changed everything. This wasn't just a fucking coincidence. Someone stole the rings, and I'm sure it wasn't her, because we talked about it. That gave me the gas to keep searching for her. The last stop was the basement. It got even dustier than the last time I came here. I opened the boxes, tried moving some stuff, and examined the floor with my cell phone's flashlight. I looked at every corner, every single part of the ceiling, and when I pointed the flashlight to the metal shelf, I noticed that some parts of it were completely clean, even though most of it was covered by dust. I tried to keep calm. I needed to find my girlfriend. When I squatted to examine the lowest shelf, I saw it. A door. A little door, around 4 feet, looking like it wasn't intended to be found. There were a lot of things on the shelves. That's why I never saw anything. My heart started racing and I felt like I was going to faint at any moment. I moved the shelf to the side and got in front of the door. Since I was almost 6'1", I knew I'd have to crawl. I know this sounds insane, I know I should have just gone upstairs and called the police, but I swear my adrenaline was so spiked I couldn't stop. I opened the little door. When I got up from the floor, my jaw dropped. There was a house inside of that little door. It looked exactly like one of those studio apartments. There was a bed, a small kitchen, a TV, a couch, a horizontal freezer, and a separate room that was probably a bathroom. Someone was living inside of my house. All of the walls were filled with pictures of me. All of the walls. Hundreds of pictures. Pictures that I'm asleep. Pictures that I'm naked. Pictures that I'm just walking. Pictures of me smiling. And no pictures of my girlfriend. What the fuck was this? Some kind of sick joke of hers? I actually thought for a second that this was just a prank and that she proposed herself with the rings. For a moment, I felt relieved. Not until I looked behind me. I saw a canvas. A canvas with a painting of me, almost finished, filled with a bunch of hearts, just like the painting I saw in the attic. At that moment, I heard the sound of a toilet being flushed. I ran like crazy towards the little door, not looking back. Someone was coming from that fucking bathroom towards me. I could hear the loud steps, just like I heard the night my girlfriend went missing. I crawled and managed to get out of the room, so I kicked the little door and ran to the top of the stairs as quickly as I could. When I looked back, just for a second, I saw his face. He was passing through the little door, looking at me with a giant smile and wide eyes. He was terrifying. I quickly locked the basement door and dialed 911. They came quickly. I didn't hear anything from the basement while I waited, but maybe that's because I was breathing so loud I couldn't even hear my thoughts. The police went to the basement and found him lying on the bed. They took him in handcuffs. He had black, long hair, was completely pale, was really hairy, was around 5'9", and was kind of fat. He had a smile on his face the whole time, and kept staring at me, licking his lips. I was disgusted by that fucking creature. I noticed he was wearing one of the engagement rings I bought. He was the one who stole it. They put him inside of the police car. When I looked at him, I saw he was kissing the blurry window, looking back at me. He kissed it with his white tongue. I threw up on the grass, disgusted. I wanted to kill him with my bare hands. One of the officers came and told me if I knew that the dude had access to the cameras. I told him that the realtor told me they never even worked, but the officer said otherwise. The basement TV showed the view of all the cameras inside the house. And that's why this man always knew what we were doing, and when we were asleep. We realized that the realtor could have something to do with all of this, but that required some more investigation. Some more officers came from the basement carrying what looked like a body, wrapped in plastic. I never prayed so hard that this body was anyone else, but not my girlfriend. I started tearing up when I saw it. I asked to see the body. It was her. My lovely girlfriend, completely frozen. Her body had bloodstains and wounds. I lied on the grass and cried like someone was stabbing me. I should have listened to her when she said something was off about this house. I should have moved out when I had the chance. My whole world was shattered at that moment. Some time has passed since the incident, and my therapist insisted that I should share my story with other people, serving as a way to vent and to warn others. But I want to give this some closure. Turns out this man has done this multiple times. The police found evidence of more than 3 crimes on his part of the basement. He always fell in love with the man and killed the girlfriend/wife. And I sincerely don't know how the police never found him. The killer was presumed dead when he was only 10 years old. Apparently died in a car accident with his parents, since the police report said that his brother was the only survivor. He was living there for more than 30 years. And you know who knew about this? The realtor. His own brother. He was the one attracting victims so that his psycho brother could have some fun. Funny thing is, I didn't even mention that my girlfriend would move in. Does that mean he just wanted to kill me? Seduce me? I have no clue, and never will. Also, the realtor ran away when his brother got arrested and is still missing to this day. I still blame myself for it. I still wish I'd done it all differently. So here I am, opening myself to a bunch of strangers online. I only have a few lessons to share with you, and take them seriously. Always suspect good properties at a ridiculously low price. And above all, Listen to what your partner has to say and take them seriously. If I believed what my girlfriend had to say, she could still be here with me. And that was Since We Moved to Our New House, My Girlfriend Thinks We Are Being Watched by Aromatic Advisor 9197. I didn't know aromatics needed advisors, but you know what? At least we know one now. I like it. So, this is it's certainly a fear that I'm aware of. I mean, it's not exactly like a hidden thing these days. I mean, there's tons of videos online, especially of people that are squatting inside of your house without your knowledge of it, right? I'm sure I'll find a specific reference video I'm talking about, the one that specifically like really spooked me, that ended up being like quite a big news story if I remember right. But it's just a horrifying thought. I mean, whether they're going to kill you or not is a whole extra level of the fear, right? It truly, truly is, because it's one thing if they live in your house and they're just trying to live, right? Not even trying to mess with you, just completely go off the radar, right? That's horrific in and of itself. The fact that there is somebody secretly living inside your house that you may never find. And then also, what if they die in there? There's so many things about it that could just go wrong, that could be horrifying. And yet again, obviously they also have to get food, so they tend to come out when you're usually asleep and take stuff of yours. It's awful on so many levels, and it's terrifying, it's horrifying. I mean, and yeah, yet again, they can also, in a lot of the cases, they might try to kill the actual homeowners or something. It's horrible, right? It's just, it always makes a great story. I'm glad it's fiction, but still, it makes a great story. And this story is told really, really well. I really had some great chills reading this one, and I super enjoyed it. It's a great classic setup of really cheap house. What's the problem with it? Certainly some bizarreness here and there, but nothing too much of a red flag that clearly was. I mean, yeah, I suppose if you're looking at this from a horror story perspective, of course it's all red flags, isn't it? But in the real world, you know, especially if you're kind of struggling, and this could be the thing that you needed exactly at the right moment, you might see it as a sign from like a higher power or something like that. You know, the universe is rewarding you for all your hard work and stuff. So you might not see the red flags truly well, right? You might see them as pink or off red or something like that, you know, or maybe it's smaller than you think. But I mean, like his morals at the end of the story, it's true. You should. I think a better way to describe it is you should trust your gut. You know, if you have a gut feeling that something is not right, there's a chance there's truth to that. It might not be 100% true, but there's usually a level of truth to that, and you should absolutely listen to it. You know, and he's right about listening to your partner as well. Obviously, you should do that anyway. You should have a good communication with your partner. You should be open and honest, and you should be able to believe each other, right? 100% agree with that. This story is great, especially the fact that the realtor's in on it. But I mean, that makes it even easier for this whole shenanigans to happen. It's so well done. It's so well done. It's horrifying. I loved every minute of it. This was a great story. I've super enjoyed reading this one. So this actually reminds me of, I'm pretty sure the movie's called Parasite, right? That's the first thing that came to my mind about this story, because it's, in Parasite, it's this poor family, and they inevitably are able to kind of, you know, they work for other people, and especially richer people, in order to make money, but in a way they also scam them and con them to better themselves. And at one point, like, some of the family starts living secretly inside the rich people's house. It's a crazy movie. It is a crazy good movie. If you haven't seen it, oh, what are you doing? It's a great thriller. It's psychologically weird. There's so many suspenseful things. There's so many weird things about that story. It's so good. Definitely watch it if you haven't seen it. Let's see, when it comes to like TV shows or books or anything like that, nothing else is super coming to mind. Parasite immediately jumped out to me. That was a big one. But like I said earlier in this, I'm sure I've probably put up a little snippet clip of maybe even the story article about the lady who was living in somebody's house. It's just creepy as fuck. It's just a creepy thought. No matter who you are, it's just it's just creepy. It's definitely a creepy thing. I don't like it, but it does allow me to open up topics of conversation and discussion. So if you've ever had one of these situations happen to you, or you know somebody who has, you should let me know down in the comments below, because I'd really like to hear the story. I'd really like to hear the story. That'd be really, really cool. Might even make a video about it if you're really lucky. I think that'd be great. Or if for some crazy reason somebody watching this is one of those people who has lived in somebody else's house without their permission or knowing, I want to hear your story. Let me know down in the comments below. I'd really like to know. Really like to know some weird stories that come out of this. What are your thoughts about this? Do you think it's horrifying? Are you as scared of it as I am? I think it's horrifying as shit. I think it's terrible. I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't know what to do if I found out that somebody was living in my house. It'd be fucking creepy as shit. Oof. Yeah. Let me know what you thought of the story. Let me know. Let me know how you're doing. How's your day? Anything down in the comments below. This has been a great read, and I've super enjoyed myself, and I sure hope you have too. Do you like the new setup? I've still got to get like the green screen setup and things like that, but got like a little tea coffee shelf up here. I think that's gonna be quite nice. Got a window next to me. This is also where I'm gonna be doing some live streams with Jordan when we do the Friday stuff. Got a couple more things to kind of work out, but we're mostly there. It's a good little setup. This has been really fun. Thank you yet again, Aromatic Advisor 9197 for the story. This has been awesome. All right, everybody, you take care out there. Thank you to the YouTube and Patreon members who've been supporting this channel so far. This has been a fantastic effort. Thank you so much. I couldn't do any of this without your support. Really, I really can't. Thank you. You can also show support through a donation at coffee.com/nateatnight, or whenever I'm live streaming through super chats of YouTube or through Twitch. And whenever you donate, I'll be sure to read your messages out on stream.